Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. I'm in a different coffee shop today. Do you like the artwork behind me and the lamp? Either way, hopefully you can hear me okay. Um, in this particular episode, I'd like to talk about H-1Bs. As many of you know, the H-1B door is opening up on April 1st, but that doesn't mean you can start working April 1st. What that means is that if it's taken and if it's approved, then the start date would be October 1st of 2015. Now, here's the deal with the H-1Bs. There's only so many that they issue per year. There's a max 65,000. Then out of those, some come out of the Singaporean H-1Bs, Chilean H-1Bs, and some, of course, would be considered the E3, which that's different than H-1B, but E3 from Australia. Um, and then there are about 20,000 other ones for advanced degree H-1Bs, and those last a little longer. But if there's one thing that gauges how the economy is doing, it's how fast the H-1Bs go. Okay, over the years, like when we were in the Great Recession, there were actually years where the H-1Bs weren't used up all year. There were still some available, even as the door opened for the following year. Unfortunately, that doesn't occur as of now. Last year, all the regular H-1Bs were used up in about a week, and all of the advanced degree H-1Bs, basically were used up in 3 weeks to a month. So they go very quickly. And basically what happens is you get it submitted on the first day. That's without question. As of now, and I mean now is when you need to start preparing an H-1B. It is not just a matter of, filling out a couple pieces of paper saying you want an H-1B. There's all kinds of stuff that has to be filled out. That we need to get the prevailing wage, the labor condition application. There needs to be statements signed by the employer. Their attorney cover letter needs to be done. The forms. We need to show it's a specialty occupation, that it's required, that the company can, hire this particular person. All the, pieces need to be put together, and then it needs to be put in the FedEx envelope, and it needs to arrive at USCIS at the proper time as of after April 1st. Now, the reality, hence the title of this particular video, the reality is after a little while it becomes a lottery. I mean, imagine, basically a service center that on one day, receives 20, 30,000 or more applications in packages, all at once. And you look at their parking lot and the room, and it's just from top to bottom H-1B applications. And of course, they will stamp as they receive them. And then what happens when they get to a certain point is it just becomes a lottery. So you can imagine, a whole shelf from the floor to the ceiling petitions, and the person standing there, okay, I'll take this one, I'll take this one, stamp, stamp, stamp. And then when the max amount has been hit, then all the rest of them get sent back with basically a sorry, you didn't get picked this year, try again next year. And then you are in the uncomfortable position of not knowing what to do. Okay, if you're outside the U.S., well then, there's other types of visas you might be able to get. And if you're inside the U.S., you might be able to apply for a change of status to some other type of visa, but or other type of status. But the reality is that you are in a bit of a position now, and you have to understand that when you file the H-1B. So if you go to any lawyer and that lawyer says to you, oh, I guarantee you that you're going to get selected this year, what you want to do is say thank you, stand up, and walk out the door, okay? Because that's not the reality of how it works. You can then even pick premium processing, and the statistics are that premium processing is not really going to help you get in the particular allotment. Okay, whether you are in premium processing or not in premium processing, the reality is that you may or may not get picked. They do not give priority in picking the initial 65,000 to those who have selected premium processing. And as of statistically speaking, last year it didn't really make much difference whether you did premium processing or not, as far as when you heard and when it was adjudicated, which that by itself takes away the benefits of premium processing. But in any event, if you have the funds to pay the extra amount, go ahead. But it's not certainly not going to put you ahead of someone who filed exactly the same time without premium processing. Excuse me. So what you want to make sure is that you, number one, get the H-1B done if you can, but more importantly, have a backup plan in case it doesn't get selected. I mean, literally, you could go into 7-Eleven and buy a lottery ticket, and you might have a better chance of getting a winning lottery ticket than winning the H-1B. Who knows? Okay, it really is just a lottery after a certain point. So if you have lots of years of experience, perhaps the O1 might be a way to go. I've used for a lot of clients the O1 where the H-1B didn't go. And while the O1 wouldn't have been my first choice, I can make some good arguments that the O1 should be the best way to go based on the situation. Then, for example, if you're outside the country or even in, but you're not out of status, and you come from a treaty country, you can do the E2. Of course, you have to open your own business. And if you're religious and you have some church that will sponsor you, you can do the R1. If you're musically inclined, the P1, athletically inclined, different level of P. So there are different types of ones that you could get, but it all depends. And I'm doing the video so you understand, number one, move on the H-1B as of yet. Two, understand that it's essentially a lottery system now, and that after the initial ones, and that you have to have a backup plan. Okay, if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and also give me a call. I'll be happy to give a free consultation, and I do that anywhere in the world. You just have to set it up on the system, and then I'll either call, Skype, and or you come into the office if you're local, and then see what I can do for you. Okay, more on the coming videos.